It's a rainy Fun Fact Friday here in Iowa. I am Hillary, your host, board certified ocularist, and we are wrapping up our mini series on cosmetic elements of the artificial eye. And last week we talked about putting blood vessels and veins down on the sclera, the white part of the eye. And today we are talking about all of the little elements that go on top of those blood vessels and veins as we tone and color the sclera of the eye. Now, just like the iris color, each sclera for every person is very different, but there are still some similar characteristics that tend to run through for everyone. So the biggest thing we were trying to do is disguise a hunk of plastic in the human body and trick everybody else into thinking that it's real. And the biggest part of that is making sure that we have a good blend from the soft squishy tissue to where the prosthesis starts. So on most prosthesis, you will see some sort of pink reddish hue on both the nasal corner and the temporal corner as it blends into the socket of the patient. So every patient has some varying level of how much redness that we have, whether it's just a little bit or if it encroaches a little bit more. We have a term called a pterygium, which is a little collection of blood vessels that can happen that cast a really intense red right on the sclera. So if there's that on the patient's companion eye, we have to make sure that we include it on the prosthesis. So we've got the red covered. Then some patients will have some sort of balance of yellowing on their sclera, depending upon what their environment has been like as they've, had time on this planet. So we have our yellow balance. And then one of the most important balances is the blue balance to the sclera. So we would traditionally think that if it's just the white of the sclera, it's just going to be stark white. But in reality, there's a lot more color there than what we might think. So, and the blue balance is a big portion of it. Is there a blue-black balance? Is it a blue-green balance? Is it just ever so slightly blue that almost make it seem like a brighter white? Different for everybody. But the living eye has a muscle insertion that is about 4 to 5 millimeters outside of the limbus of the iris that makes a almost defined black-blue line. And that's a pretty important aspect to have, especially on older patients because they've been around a little bit longer. The scleras maybe aren't quite as thick, so we see all of those aspects as we're building the prosthesis. So all of these aspects pulled together in painting the white portion of the eye. So lots of info and way more that we can go into, but those are some of the top things that we look at as we're painting the sclera of the eye. And that wraps up our cosmetic elements of the artificial eye series on this Fun Fact Friday. If you enjoy any of our content, please like and share. And if you have any other questions that you'd like to be seen on a Fun Fact Friday, shoot me a comment down below. We'll see you next week.